The main thing is that you are to give in specific and intentional attention to making sure that you nourish and nurture well. You give detailed affection and attention to this area to
Mm-hmm.
your marriage. And so I did write down when you see in the value of it, you when you see the value of something, that means that it is now a treasure. And where you treasure something, you protect it. You
Mm-hmm.
do your part to make sure you preserve it. Why? So it can be passed down to maybe to your let's say if it's a ring, I'm thinking about gold or like an actual gold treasure. But you want to make sure that you preserve it and protect it so that it can be passed down to your son or your daughter that you know will care well and continue to preserve and protect it, and they see it as the treasure. So don't think that your marriage is not a treasure, because that legacy of loving the Lord and loving your spouse, your children are witnessing that. And that's how we
Mm-hmm.
continue to
Mm-hmm.
preserve the faith fabric of uh, of the faith of what God has intended and planned for the institution of marriage to do, which is to minister and to serve to the home as well as to the community at large, to the church.
Mm-hmm.
It's a visible sign that love works, that serving works, that sacrifice, it works. It pays out and it pays off. It really does. So just remember that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that would be a nice. I think that's a great assessment, like
Mhm.
to do the assessment of your marriage.
Mhm.
Where is your marriage?
Mhm.
Is your marriage in the ER?
Mhm.
Is it in um,
Intensive care.
intensive care? Like,
Mhm.
where do you find your marriage? And wherever you find your marriage, that's the type, because it is, if you're in a burn unit, then
Mhm.
that takes a different type of care to
Bring about the
to bring
healing
it
and
back to healing
recovery.
and
Yeah.
bring back the color and the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of care. If it's an ER, that's a different type of care. If it's, after you've gotten out and now you're doing uh, what's the thing when you lose mobility?
Therapy.
Therapy. Like, that's a different. So I think the great thing would be to assess where your marriage is,
Mhm.
and then begin to make, and I'm repeating myself, but begin to make the necessary adjustments so that you can have the best possibility for healing of your marriage.
And so the thing that come to my mind is going back to what we say, to help you build and sustain. And one of those ways to build is to assess where you are, and wherever you are, guess what? We begin to build from there, and to be able to experience the wholeness, to sustain. That's the therapy. That means you continue to do the work that needs to be done. That you can
Mm.
continue to have this. This is not a one-time event.
Mm-hmm.
Me doing this, like, this is something that I want to do over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It's my pleasure to do this
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. Like, I don't get tired of
Mm-hmm.
showing up for the Lord. I don't get tired of showing up for you. And I know that when I do this to you, then guess what? I'm seeing about me.
That's where we come in at. As
Mhm.
as marriage coaches,
Mhm.
you've already gone through the intensive care. That's your counselor. I mean, this event just happened. It's hurt our marriage. I think
It's
we're in
rocked us
trouble.
to the core. Yeah.
I don't know what I'll do. I need you need counseling. Then finally, once you get out of the intensive care, once you get out of IC, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
ICU. Once you get out of you go to the room.
The
Now the
recovery.
recovery room.
That's
Now
recovery.
you got to go through the therapy to get back to get your muscle working back together again. That's where coaches come in, and then that's where we come in to help guide you or to give you a list of to do to help you win in the marriage
To
moving forward.
be and to do.
Yeah, to be and to do. That's good. That's
Yep.
good.
It's to be and to do. And again, the coach is only here. We are only here to encourage you to bring out what's already in you. We are not putting something there. This is not something that, some hocus pocus stuff. This is stuff that you are already equipped to do, because if you said I do, then guess what? It has to get done.
Yes.
It did not say, let me see, when we say our marriage vows, say I do. That mean I do the work. Like that,
Yeah.
do is an action word.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I'm your bride. I got one of the things that I always say is that I'm Patrick's forever bride, and I am his wife. And so I am his bride, and I am his wife, and that means that I have to do the work of being and doing, grabbing his attention, holding his attention, making sure that I'm doing the things that will that's pleasing to him. Amen. And then by the same token, also doing whatever needs to be done as far as making sure I'm constantly developing into the woman that God created me to be, because that's really what a real husband is attracted to, the godly wife. Even if he not there, he still want a godly wife. I'm telling
Okay.
you.
So here's the thing about, because you mentioned caring for your marriage. Do you have something else
I
in
have two
terms
more things, but not pertaining
to
to.
caring for your marriage?
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead. Because I'll go and say mine.
Mhm.
So one of the things I think is beneficial for caring for your marriage is, one, caring for yourself. Do you already have that on there?
No.
Okay. Caring for yourself. Because if I'm strong enough, if I am mentally strong enough, if I am spiritually strong enough, if I'm emotionally strong enough, then it allows me to be able to have the strength to take care of you. My dad, my mom had multiple sclerosis, and my dad, I don't think he did a good job of taking care of himself, to the point that he died before my mom. Now,
Mhm.
my mom needed all of the care, and so the caregiver, a lot of times the caregiver finds themselves so exhausted and stressed out about taking care of the other person, that they don't take the time to care for themselves. So again, to reiterate, if you really want to take care of your marriage, you cannot neglect taking care of yourself. I am not talking about having whatever body you think you're supposed to have, a P90X body. I don't know. Do they still say P90X?
I'm not
I'm
sure.
not talking about, I'm saying, but I do need to find myself walking 2 miles a day. Even if you're
Exercising.
walking,
Yeah.
exercising, if you're walking in place for 30 minutes, that needs to be done. I do need to find myself drinking plenty of water, Patrick. I do need to find myself getting plenty of rest. I do need to find myself taking 15 to 30 minutes of mental rest, just to not have everything. Like, I do need to find myself eating an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And anyway, I like those things.
Proper
Take
portions
care.
and
Yeah, proper portion. Those things are
vitamins.
just. We're not talking about going to the gym and like, well, I don't know, whatever this is, but we're just saying, taking care of your spiritual, getting in my word, and getting in prayer before God regularly, so that I can have the fortitude to care for the marriage, because there are gonna be ebbs and flows.
That is called life.
It's gonna happen.
Whether you are in the Lord or out of the Lord.
Time and chance happen to us all.
To all. Yeah.
So since it's going to happen, I need to take care of myself. I always talk about, in Matthew 22, when it talks about love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Well, we keep forgetting the part myself. So I can love, once I really, like, really learn, get this spiritual love with God. It's gonna help me love myself, so that I can properly love my neighbor, or in this case, my spouse. God, myself, my spouse. If you work it that way, I think it'll. I just believe it'll work itself out
It's
over time.
proper order and proper flow.
Right.
Yeah.
If
Amen.
you believe your marriage is in need of coaching, Shamika and I are certified marriage and life coaches. Just log into our website, www.hiswifeherhusband.net, to book your discovery call.
Wives, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, put his wife in the notes section.
Husbands, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, put her husband in the notes section.
Husbands and wives, if you are looking for marriage coaching as a couple, put his wife, her husband in the notes section.
Remember, our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your marriage
from a biblical perspective.
So go on over to www.hiswifeherhusband.net to schedule your discovery call today.